When you've got some goals in terms of lifestyle and health and family, and you want to get more freedom and more choices in life, this is really possible. We could really change our life.
I don't want to exchange time for money anymore. I wanted to do something that could maintain my lifestyle, and I wanted freedom to do things like spend time with my family, as well as help others as well in need.
That feeling, that to know that you are actually working towards your goal. My goal is to create financial freedom, and my goal is to actually pay off my kids' education.
I came across this bike looking through a magazine, and I just decided life was too short. I'm looking forward to the day when I can have more time to do the things that I enjoy, travelling, riding around on my motorbike.
My family's a big motivation for me. Ideally, I don't have to work every day. I can spend more time getting my golf about, playing with the kids, taking a holiday.
I've been able to actually buy a car that I can enjoy, have fun, have friends in, and be proud of it.
The end game for me is to help us have a really comfortable retirement. I'm getting money in the bank and I don't really have to work for it. It just appears each month.
It's an investment strategy that's changing the lives of ordinary Australians. It's the cash flow we're all looking for. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to find out exactly how these everyday Australians are affording to live out their dreams. Be it a career change, early retirement, or just a well-earned holiday. The strategy is simple. It's conservative, and it's long been used by big financial institutions and successful investors. It's commercial property. Stay with us as we learn more about this investment and how it could change your life.
One of the strongest things that commercial does is it replaces your income or creates a passive income.
For return of investment, I think is like from 8 to 10%. I couldn't find anywhere you can get that much.
At the end of the day, that's cash flow, which is an ultimate goal then to start to replace incomes and look at retirement at a much earlier age than we would have been without it.
I sort of hit the jackpot. It's like, why wouldn't I do this over and over and over and over? And that's what I've done.
Michael Maffey is a high-profile commercial property leasing agent and consultant. He says that strong yields are one of the key advantages of investing in commercial.
The advantages of directly investing in commercial property are quite simple. Strong returns, capital growth, a solid asset, and a known track record.
Helen Tarrant is a leading commercial property expert. She has been investing and educating clients in commercial property since 2012. She has a community of active commercial property investors through both direct investment and private investment groups, with investments from $500,000 to $5 million.
The major advantage of commercial property, number one, is cash flow. So it puts money in your pocket more than anything else in any other form of investment.
A key concept to understand is net yield. Returns on commercial property investment are higher for a number of reasons. The main point being that the tenant is responsible for the majority of expenses on the property, meaning that there is more money flowing into your pocket each month.
I've had a number of resi investments and they're paying really good rent, but I could never make any money out of them. And I suddenly realised that I had to pay for all the water rates, council rates, insurance and everything else. And then I looked into commercial and realised that the tenant paid all of that. And I thought, wow, that's going to change my income dramatically.
The tenant actually pays for most of the property's outgoings, so that the owner of the property, the investor, really isn't putting their hand in their pocket for much at all.
I realised we needed to think about our financial future. I do lead a very busy life, so I needed an investment vehicle that was fairly hands-off. Commercial property just instantly made sense to me. The model, how it worked, just instantly resonated.
You have an asset that you can see, you have a tenant you can see. It's not an asset that's up in the ether. It's something that can be looked at, controlled quite easily and managed quite easily.
People are often nervous about getting a commercial loan. They're worried they can't get a loan because of servicing. But you see, it can be easier to get a commercial loan than it is a residential loan because the servicing can often come from the lease on the property rather than yourself. Most people think because they're struggling with finance in the residential space, that commercial property finance is hard. Commercial finance is actually really easy. The property services itself because of its cash flow. If you have a deposit, you'll be able to get a loan.
My idea in my head was commercials, millions of dollars. Well, that's not the case at all.
What got me into commercial property is because the bank is still lending me money. The financing part just makes it so much easier.
Everyday Australians just like you are finding commercial property much easier to understand and access than they thought possible.
Well, I really love what I do. I love getting up every morning, but the income isn't quite there. That's why I like commercial property, because the numbers are there. It's set and forget.
There's a perception that you'll come across it's for the big guys and that it's not possible to get in there unless you're a multimillionaire sort of thing. So that was a real eye-opener for us, that there is opportunities there for people to start at the same sort of level that they would buying their first residential property.
The light bulb moment for me is that when you build that portfolio, every time you're purchasing something, you're actually setting yourself up for your next purchase.
People are pleasantly surprised to learn that commercial property can offer stability and longevity.
The other advantages of investing in commercial property are the length of the leases, the strength of those leases, the strength of the tenant. Property is a pretty safe investment, commercial, industrial, retail property in particular. You've got confidence in those markets moving forward.
Now, I had an epiphany one day. I was buying some stuff from an electrical wholesaler in Gladesville, and I suddenly realised that this shop had been there and people had been paying rent for 30 plus years. And I thought, wow, imagine a tenant paying me rent for 30 years.
A tenant that's anchored to the area, a tenant that's well known, that's been there for 10, 20, 50 years sometimes, and they're well known to the locals and they need the local population to support them, so they're not going anywhere.
We'd all love some extra cash. The million-dollar question is, how do we get it? Well, you might have heard of commercial property, but not known where to start. Now, thanks to Helen Tarrant, everyday Australians are using the Unikorn strategy in commercial property. Helen is passionate about changing people's lives through commercial property investment. She has helped numerous clients find the right commercial property with both confidence and security. Over the past decade, she has helped hundreds of investors acquire over $400 million in commercial property.
What I realised when I got into commercial property, that it was like a secret club. So it was excluding the everyday Australians. And for me, I actually come from the belief that every Australians should have the right to invest in commercial property, should understand it, and actually they should have one in their portfolio.
Helen was a big surprise because she actually motivates you to take action.
We found that Helen Tarrant was one of the leading commercial property experts in Australia. When you meet people, you get a sense of what they do, their ethics, the principles. She was really passionate about property, and she was really direct as well.
It was very important for me to find someone who was trustworthy, so I got the feeling straight away that she was trustworthy, and the passion was what got me as well.
Her services is above and beyond. I do trust her very much, and she does personalise everyone's needs, and she will find a property that is suited just for you.
I go out and I handpick those properties for you. I find those properties that suit your needs and your criteria.
She knows her stuff. She's done it herself. She does it every day. She lives it and breathes it.
She will hold your hand and take you from one step to last step, and that's the beauty of it. It's like you can rely on her and she will find the best solution for you.
I'm actually quite time poor. To have Helen doing everything for me and just say to me, you need to pay so much money on this day and so much on this day and manage everything for me. I like that service and I'm happy to pay for that service.
Every journey starts somewhere, and with commercial property, education is that step. A small paradigm shift is all that is needed to unlock the benefits of commercial property and discover how it can best work for you.
Learning about commercial property is going to literally save you tens of thousands of dollars in your first deal. Because it's not something you can go out there and Google and find the top 10 tips on investing in commercial property and then go off and start making offers and do a deal.
She gives you all the information in such a way that it's so clear that I understood it. Something that I thought before would be really complicated. Helen made it sound so easy.
Helen's provide us a lot of information and she was so patient to guide you through every single steps.
I want to know how much income I'm getting out of this property, how much potential growth I'm going to get out of this property.
And just having Helen talk through her experiences and seeing someone that actually has done it before you and is walking the walk, not just talking the talk. We're not just being given a bunch of manuals and then let go by ourselves to try and work it out.
With a $105,000 buy-in, and over a space of 18 months, you've picked up $130,000 of capital growth. Good deal? Yeah?
That material was great because that was the foundation that I needed to have confidence to be able to do my own research, to talk to the agents, to know, to negotiate, to influence, what to look for in a commercial property and what not to look for in a commercial property.
What you'll learn at boot camp is how to put a deal together, beginning to end. Finance, legal, structure, what to buy, what not to buy, cash flow, returns, growth, due diligence, so that what you're buying in real life matches up what you're seeing on paper. So you're going into a deal eyes wide open.
This broad category of real estate can include everything from a single storefront to a huge shopping centre.
If you're investing in commercial property, there is a whole range from retail, warehouse, office space to mixed tenancies and mixed residential commercial properties. You can invest in a whole range of properties starting from in Metro, right in the middle of Sydney CBD, to out in the mining town, the middle of nowhere.
I spoke to Helen, I told her what I had, and she found me an electrical wholesaler in Singleton for $1.2 million. That company had been around for a long time and they'd been in that area for a long time. After I paid back the bank and the other expenses, I was left with a net cash flow of $60,000 a year. I was actually nervous, to be honest, because I'd never owned a commercial property before. Then all of a sudden I thought, I've got positive cash flow coming into my bank account every month. How good is this? I need another one. It's time to annoy Helen again.
My first purchase was in Caloundra. It's a small strata office that's been rented by an insurance broker. I purchased it for $420,000 and my net return is $22,000 a year.
So the first property I bought was a retail shop in Sydney. It was leased out to a restaurant that had just started a 5-year lease. Off a $1 million purchase price, the net yield was 7.28%.
The first property we bought was actually in Townsville. It's an industrial property on 1,000 square metres and actually has 3 tenants. When we did the numbers, we very quickly realised that even with only 2 tenants, it more than covered the mortgage, but it reduced our risk. We ended up getting that property for $700,000 and we saw a return of around $30,000 in cash flow in the first year.
I purchased the bow repairs in Gympie in April this year. The purchase price was $1,050,000 and the cash flow from it is $80,000 after all the expenses.
I bought the property for $850,000, but the revenue is about $110,000 and net income is about $65 to $70K per year. Helen's team went through the due diligence, on-site inspection, conveyancing, auditing, and it was a seamless process. You can be fully involved in that process or you can be standoffish if you like.
Here we have 140 to 144 Melbourne Street, East Maitland, which recently sold on a 5.6% net yield at $1.6 million. The beauty of this property is it's a multi-tenancy. All the tenants are in different sectors, so it is a really solid and secure investment. And the upside of this property is that you can increase the footprint and that can increase the lettable area and therefore the return on the property.
With commercial property, what are the risks and what are the downsides?
There's always going to be a risk for an investor in any type of asset class. The risk for a commercial property is, the biggest one is vacancy. If there's a vacancy in your property, you've got to hold all those costs while you're looking for a new tenant. The biggest advice we can give is to get onto it early. If we know a tenant's leaving, is to start marketing that property immediately. Know the property to the point where you can target a specific type of tenant.
The real test of any investment strategy is the impact it has on people's lives. Real positive differences.
The main thing for me at this stage is knowing that my money is working for me, so to speak, that I'm taking proactive steps towards my financial future.
We've always been looking for a way to achieve our goals and a way to get ahead, but finding a way to achieve income other than trading our time, right, by working, because otherwise what is the point? I think the first tax return was the eye-opener when your accountant is saying to you on the phone, actually, what you've done here is really good. How do I get one of these?
It's made a huge difference because it's fast-tracked me towards the life I want to lead. I want cash flow and I want to be able to make enough so that I can do whatever I like.
$40,000 each year in the bank, so the impact it's made is huge. That's money that I don't have to work for. That's the main thing for me, is continue to work. And this is just playing in the background. It's something that's just, there's no fuss. It will be there for me to plan my next deal, my next property deal.
The income from the commercial investment at the moment definitely helps a huge amount with helping me continue doing what I love, not having to worry as much and stress about, hey, how much am I spending here or there? Also that it's allowed me to invest more in my own hobbies and invest in better gear.
The lifestyle that we've got now with freedom and more time with family, we just have choices, more choices in our lives. For us, it's now looking at how do we contribute back.
The biggest thing it's done is it's allowed me to stop stressing as much about having to find money every week to pay for everything. It's about having enough money coming in to pay for the mortgage and the phone bill and the car payments. And if you've got that coming in constantly, it changes the dynamics of your whole life.
This is the best thing I have done for myself. This year is the first year I'm cash flow neutral, and with the second properties that just settled last week, I'm actually cash flow positive. Bow repairs is paying me.
Helen Tarrant's Unikorn strategy can help you achieve your investment and lifestyle goals through learning about and investing in commercial property. No matter where you are in your journey, Unikorn can help.
It's all about getting educated. You need that education and you need a team of people or a community to work with because it's very, very hard to get there without it.
Before you do it, find someone to teach you how to do it, because if you make mistakes, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Learn from the profession.
Honestly, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Anyone can do it. Just got to take the risk and go for it.
It's a no-brainer. You have to go commercial.
For more information about commercial property investing and how it might be your ticket to freedom, please visit unikorn.com.au. Thanks for watching.